Good morning. You're listening to WIFO-FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.
Hi, Wayne and surrounding counties. This is Sean O'Quinn with O'Quinn & Associates. The one constant in life is change. Throughout our lives, we will go down roads that we never imagined. I have decided that it is time for me to make a change. I have decided to start my own independent insurance agency. What does this mean for you? Better rates and multiple companies. Give us a call at our new number, 912-385-1000, or stop by and see us. We are still at 212 South 1st Street, and we look forward to serving you.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings in Wayne County is a popular thing. To dine in or take out for one delicious meal, and with the low great prices, it's simply a steal. Famous for the variety of sauces, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. When it's time to eat lunch or dinner, Damon's Restaurant is the place to go. Located in the middle of town on West Cherry Street, yes, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings simply can't be beat. So next time you're hungry and looking for a great meal, head to Damon's Restaurant and enjoy a great deal. The number to call is easy, 588-WING, 588-9464, the real thing. Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings. Those chicken wings are a very popular thing.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
You're good. Well, you're on blue. They got a blue shirt, got a light blue cap on with the A on top of it, with Atlanta Braves, I assume. All fashion color coordinated there, Bob.
The lights were on this morning.
The lights were on, so you just threw on what was available before you come in, huh?
I said the lights are on so I could see the color coordinator. Normally the lights aren't on. So
yeah, you come in with all kinds of stuff on first thing in the morning. All right.
It's too early in the morning.
All right, world famous Butch and Bob Show here for this Thursday morning, second day of June. We have in the studio with us from EMA Wayne County, Donnie Ray and Sharon Corson. Who wants to go first?
I can.
Sharon Corson, go ahead. What are we talking about this morning, Sharon?
We are talking about hurricane preparedness. In case everybody doesn't already know it, yesterday was the first day of hurricane season for this year. So we are trying to get the word out and get everybody ramped up and to get everything ready so that you, if we have to deal with the situation, then you'll be ready and prepared.
Okay.
Well, I'll just go ahead and start with the kit. That is the first thing that we recommend, that you have an emergency kit ready.
Just an emergency kit in case a hurricane comes through.
Yes.
All right.
So the essential part of the kit is several days' supply of food and water for you, your family, and your pets, if you're going to bring pets with you. You need to make sure any prescription medicines are filled and on hand. And then we recommend in that kit to have a flashlight, a whistle, a dust mask, a local map, a manual can opener, a battery-powered or hand-cranked radio, a first aid kit, supplies for your pet, cell phone and chargers, moist towelettes to have,
right.
Books, games, puzzles, or other kind of activities for kids, something fun for them to do.
Something
if it's
non-electronic, something like board games and stuff like that. Keep yourself
little
busy.
Puzzle books,
right.
Things like that. And a wrench or pliers.
A what?
A wrench or pliers. So I'll go ahead and explain the rinse reply.
Explain that to us, Sharon.
So if you have to turn off utilities before you leave, because, depending on the severity of the storm, what we're going to have, what we're facing, you may have to do that. So, plus, it just comes in handy. Just take it with you. Turn everything off and bring it with you.
Okay. So
one of the reasons, obviously the flashlight, things like that are pretty self-explanatory why you would need it, but the dusk mask. You don't know what you're going to end up getting into.
Right.
So it's good to have things like that.
Is this like a kit for a person, and then each person has this kit?
You can make it for an individual, or you can make it for...
You can put a whole bunch of stuff inside of a kit.
Usually, like those zip bags are great to have. Mm-hmm. And you can just put all these things in it, have it sitting in your house ready to go. It's really good to go ahead and have this prepared now, though, because... when you're thinking about what have I got to take, what do I need to bring, it's good to go ahead and have this stuff already set up. So have it ready now, then you just have to grab it and go.
That's right. And for the young folks, we're talking about a regular size folding map, because you're not going to be able to depend upon GPS or going to your phone because the power may be out, and taking a look at the stuff on there because their power may be out. I'm still the type of person who would rather look at a map than look at something on a small screen.
Exactly.
But, maps are very important to have when that power's out.
That's right. And, every once in a while, GPS goes out anyway. So
yeah, it does.
It's a good thing to have.
Sends you all over the place.
We also recommend that you have about, if possible, an emergency fund of about $500. Because if you have to travel, if things are really bad along the way, ATMs aren't going to be working, possibly, things like that. So if you have some cash on hand that just stays in an emergency fund, it's a good idea.
Okay.
So, you want to go next?
All right. Donnie Ray. What's up, Donnie?
Yeah. We also, you need to know your evacuation route and where you're going. Go ahead and plan ahead of where you want to go to. And one thing, to give them a little credit, the DOT several years ago come and cleared the right-of-ways farther off of the road, so if a tree does fall, likely of it hitting the road is very unlikely now, because you'll see they cut back the right-of-ways.
So they've moved them out wider.
On the evacuation routes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's very good. And another thing that's going to help us this year with evacuations, if we have to do them, or Glenn County more than us, right there at a McDonald's where you turn right off of Cherry back on 341, that was the only place in between Glenn County and Perry where it went from 2 lanes to 1 lane. So that would always back up traffic. If you notice now, they knocked that curbing out so we can turn 2 lanes there if we have to.
Right.
So now it's going to be 4 lane all the way to Perry and all.
Now, I remember back in that first hurricane a few years back, that was just a busy intersection there. People living in Glenn County having to come up Highway 341 and then turning over on Pine Street, and kind of bottlenecked up there a little bit. But they got through okay.
Yeah. And one good thing, we work good with Glenn County, so they let us know, if they're going to evacuate or what their plans are, so we can prepare ours around them. So that's helped a lot in the last few years. But also what you need to do, you need to strengthen your house. And we laugh about this sometimes, like if you got a pool, take your furniture and you can put it in your pool. It's not going to flow. You just lay your furniture down in your water and it's not going to blow it. That keeps your items from blowing around your house and hitting your windows and all. Little things like that. Mm-hmm. Little things like that goes a long ways. So you want to make sure, if you need to cover your windows, have all that ready to go, plywood, wood right now is kind of expensive, but go ahead and get it on hand if you need it. And also check with your insurance company. See what kind of insurance you have for a storm.
Also, with the plan that we were talking about, your evacuation plan is important. Know where you're going to go. If you have an aunt, uncle in North Carolina, whatever you're going to do, have that ready. But also write it down. Have your plan written so that you can you don't have to think about all that. Go ahead and get it ready and write it down.
Write it down where you got a clear mind that's not under pressure. Just write it all down, and then as you do it, you can just check off things, and then you don't have to think. You just have to do.
Exactly. Having a written plan is always good.
When you're under pressure, sometimes thinking is not clear.
Exactly. And also, when you get your house checked, everything's good, you've got it secure, check on your neighbors. Because sometimes there's elderly neighbors that might not have anybody to help them get their house ready, or, just have a plan to get out too. So once you get yourself secured and ready and know what you're going to do, maybe check on your neighbor and see if they have a plan. And
just be a good Boy Scout or Girl Scout and plan ahead and have things ready to go.
Exactly.
Donnie?
That's about it on the evacuation plan and all. Do you want to start with the... The predictions.
What next, Sharon?
We talk about
I'm
the
ready.
predictions.
Predictions.
Yes, and
All right, we're doing some predicting. It's not the football season; it's the hurricane season. We're going to predict for the hurricane season here.
well, this is the thing I always say. If you've been around me very long, you've heard me say it. If I look at how many they predict and how bad they're going to be, but it don't take but one to ruin our day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we got one now. We kind of watching in the Gulf. It looks like it's going towards Florida. South Florida.
Yeah, so looks like we're not going to get any effects from that when they came across Mexico there, and it's not going to come north. It's going to stay there and mess with folks in Miami area.
And one thing about that one I didn't know, which I got 80% chance it's going to turn into a tropical depression or tropical storm, which means it will be named. So since it come off the Gulf Coast and it was already named Pacific, I'm sorry, it come out of Pacific into the Gulf, it was already named, but once it hits the Gulf and it remakes, it will be renamed to
go from
Alex.
Agatha to Alex.
Yes. Which we was at a conference a couple of weeks ago, and they told us that we probably wouldn't have our first named storm till halfway through the season. And look here, it's the first day of the season, we have one named.
Mm-hmm.
So
at least it won't affect us.
Yes.
We'll have a good weekend this week.
Have a quiz for you. So,
Quiz. Sharon's going to quiz us this morning. Go ahead, Sharon Corson from the Wayne County EMA.
So we know hurricane season has already started. So what month do you think is the highest likelihood of having a hurricane?
September.
You got it. So in June we have an average of 1 usually. July 1 to 2, August 1 to 2, September goes up to 4 to 5, October goes back down to 2 to 3, and then November has typically 1 on average. So
those two we got several years ago. Was that like September, October?
Yeah,
it was.
September, October. What
it was. I remember it well. Hurricane Matthew was my first night with
it was your
EMA.
first night EMA and had to deal with that.
Yeah.
We hadn't had hurricanes forever, since the 60s or something like that. And the sudden we had to deal with them back to back. And boy, that first one that came through, I'm trying to sleep at night. It's 2, 3 o'clock. That wind just, after about 3 hours or 4 hours laying in bed hearing that wind, I'm just saying, I'm tired of this, but
exactly.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and we had Hermine right before them, which was kind of a learning experience for us. Mm-hmm. It knocked a few trees down, put power out. It was a very good learning experience for us.
Got you prepared for the two biggies.
It did.
Right. Now, I got some statistics on some Cat 5 landfalls, and this is something that we kind of want people to understand.
Okay, not 5 cats, but category 5.
Category 5.
Okay.
We don't always, sometimes we get a lot of warning. It depends on how fast the storm is moving, but sometimes we don't. So these are all Category 5 landfalls statistics. So 5 days before landfall, Camille and Michael didn't even exist on Labor Day.
5 days.
5 days.
Didn't exist.
Didn't even exist. 3 days before, and these are Category 5s, they were still far out in the ocean 3 days before.
The storm was there. They just went a
landfall.
Category 5 yet. Is that right? What you're saying, or what?
They just had not. That's where they were.
They developed quickly.
Right.
Okay, I'm saying.
So that was 3 days out. So, the point is, within 3 days, it can quickly move on to land. Mm-hmm. They can change. They can speed up. They can slow down. So, we use all of the tools, mostly like National Weather Service, the National Hurricane Center. We use all the tools that we have from them to try to help guide people. But just know that sometimes things happen a little quicker. Sometimes we have more advance notice. So we try to keep everybody up to date as much as we can.
And, I was told several years ago, either by a former EMA guy here in Wayne County or when I was down at the National Weather Service in Jacksonville when I was taken down there years ago, I always ask if somebody, how does a hurricane move so much like that? It can be going this way, it can be going that way, it can slow down, it can speed up. And basically they explain to us, you think about a big top that you pull the string on, and it's got the point down there on the desk, and it's going around and around and around. And if you just blow on a little bit, it moves this direction. Or if you move the surface a little bit, it goes this direction. So we think this hurricane's a big powerful thing, but it can be moved easily by these trade winds up there.
Mm-hmm. A good example of that was Matthew. We have conference calls every 2 to 4 hours when a storm is named and heading towards us. And I was on the phone. I think the mayor was in there and a couple county commissioners at 2 o'clock in the morning. And the National Hurricane Center called out Wayne County and says, y'all better be prepared. Y'all finna have between 150 and 200 mile an hour winds in Wayne County. So you talking about change the game because we was expecting 30, 35.
Right.
Well, That was at 2 o'clock in the morning. By 6 o'clock that morning, it had turned 25 miles more to the west, and that really saved us. And you saw the effects we had, Matthew. We had a lot of damage, but nothing like they was first predicting.
Yes. It's amazing.
And it changed within 4 hours.
Like
within 4 hours, it changed that much.
And
it's just like a big person's up there in the sky and says, I want to go this direction, and they just blow on it, and it changes direction. That's what the trade winds do.
So that cone of uncertainty, that we all see on all of the newscasts and stuff, the eye is typically within that cone at least 60% of the time. So, and the width of the cone usually tells you the size of the storm. So if it's a skinnier cone, it's going to be a narrower storm.
But it can go anywhere in that cone.
But it can go anywhere
left side,
in
right
that
side,
cone.
the middle, just in that cone area.
Typically
doesn't mean
in the
it's
cone.
going right up through the middle of the cone. It could be anywhere in that cone.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think that's what a lot of people get confused. They think it means it's just going to go straight up the middle. But, but really it's not. It can go anywhere in that cone or outside the cone. It just depends on the movement of the storm. So, evacuations, you want to hit on that? You're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on our next one. We're still working out some.
We got Donnie Ray coming back in next week to talk about the official. What was the official plan again?
It's the hurricane plan for Wayne County.
We
update it every couple of years, and we just finished updating. We're going to present it to the county commissioners Monday, and then we'll go to the city of Odom, city of Scribner, city of Jessup, and get them all a copy of it.
Okay, and then you'll be on the Butch and Bob Show next Tuesday. Is that right? Is it Tuesday?
Thursday.
Thursday. You'll be on the Butch and Bob Show next Thursday to give us that plan actually here in person on the air once you present it to the government officials. They get to hear it first.
Yes. So if anybody's got any
questions. Got it right there. Oh.
Now I'm ready for the names. Everybody likes to know the names.
Yeah. You want to know. We're going to go over the names. Sharon's here all excited about the names of this year's hurricanes. What do we have, Sharon, on this year's names? We already know we got Alex. What's going on next?
We got Alex. He's our first one. And then we have Bonnie. And then we have Colin, Danielle, Earl, Fiona, Gaston, Hermine again. Ian, Julia, Carl, Lisa, Martin, Nicole, Owen, Paula, Richard, Sherry, I guess. It's a strange wording name. The way that one's spelled is kind of weird. Tobias, Virginia, and Walter.
Now, how do they do that? Do they put names in a hat and just draw them out, or how do they come up with the names for the hurricanes? You know, Donnie?
I don't, but I know they use them over and over sometimes, and they retire them if it's a bad storm.
They retire a bad one.
I do know they'll retire a bad one, won't use it over again, but I do not
There'll be no more Katrinas.
Maybe I'll have that answer by Thursday.
You'll have that answer by okay. I was just wondering how they came up with the names. It used to be all, female names, and then equal opportunity. Us guys got to have hurricanes named after us.
I think that's fair.
It is fair. It is fair.
And what was it, year before last? We had to go. We filled it up and went to.
Filled it up.
Went into the Greek alphabet. I think,
yes.
Okay,
hopefully we won't have that happen this year. They are saying an above average season, but we hope we don't have to use any of these kits, that you can get that kit ready, use it next year, use it the year after, use it some other time, but just in case.
It's good to have those kits available in advance. If you got a hurricane kind of heading that way, and then suddenly about 3 days out they say it's going to be there, before then have everything you need, because you're not going to find anything on the shelves once it says within 3 days or 4 days that is heading your area.
Exactly. That's one of the things.
They're going to be cleaning out the shelves.
Some of this stuff, you can have and go ahead and have it early. You don't need to wait till the last minute, like you said, because they will be cleaned out.
Yep. Go ahead and get it in advance. Have your emergency plan ready. And then if you have to leave Wayne County, have a place that you can go in advance, so you're just not riding down the road trying to figure out where to go.
That's right. Have a plan.
Yeah.
And also next Thursday, I'll announce we're going to the dates. We're going to have an open house, and we're going to let if anybody wants to come see what we do in the Emergency Operations Center and the equipment we have, and talk to us one-on-one. We're going to have an afternoon where they can come and do that.
When's that going to be?
We haven't set the date yet officially. It's probably going to be the end of this month, but I'll have that by next Thursday.
So an open house there at y'all's offices there at the sheriff's building there behind the courthouse.
Yes, sir.
Also, it's good to remind everybody about our alert system, HyperReach. We have that on our Facebook page. There is a QR code that you can just go on and scan. And it's an alert system, so if there are any warnings or any kind of severe weather threats, you can sign up for those. You can have them sent to your phone. They can call you. It can text you. They can send you an email. So it's whatever you want. You choose how it contacts you. So it's called HyperReach, and just go to our Facebook page, Wayne County Emergency Management, and click on the QR code, and it'll sign you up, put in your address, and the rest is
just be prepared.
Follow.
And we were just a great community the last time that the 2 hurricanes hit several years ago. The day after they left, you had crews of men and some women, but crews of men out there with their trucks, their chainsaws, stuff like that, cleaning up stuff. It wasn't, government officials, of course, were working, but you had a lot of private citizens out there as organized groups helping to clean up and to move the debris.
When FEMA showed up a couple of days after the storm to do their ride through and look around, they couldn't believe it because we went by the country club, and that area has some damage. We rode through there, and people was already playing golf. Yeah. They just couldn't believe it. I said, listen, everybody in Wayne County has a chainsaw, and everybody has a truck.
Yep.
They got all the stuff going.
So that's when you might got to take pictures early before everybody.
That's right.
That is true.
We have to get out and do a damage assessment.
And it's kind of, let you know a little bit what the county and cities have to do. They have to, when they clean up, they have to keep, let's say this dump truck goes to this road, they have to keep up where that debris comes from. Because we have to turn that into FEMA exactly where it come from for us to get reimbursed.
Is that for reimbursement, right?
Yes, for reimbursement.
We did get all our monies last time on the 2 hurricanes?
We just got a check back from Irma not long ago.
You got to be kidding me.
No, it takes a while.
Just got the check. That was several years ago.
They give us several checks as you go, but the last check come through a couple weeks ago from Irma.
That is amazing.
Yes.
All right, we've just got to go through that red tape, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's a lot of it.
Well, that's great. We appreciate y'all coming in this morning and just informing folks about what they need to do to be prepared if a hurricane comes our way.
And
thank you for having us.
And another quick thing, we have to give credit to our counties and cities, Odom, Scribner, Jessup, Wayne County road departments. They do a wonderful job getting prepared for this. They've got their plans down. I'm looking at counties around us was having to shut roads down, and we only had a few. And Irma dumped a lot of water in South Wayne County, and they do an excellent job keeping the drainages, the ditches pulled, and the roads build up. They all do a wonderful job, so we have to give them a lot of credit for keeping the roads during these storms going.
The paved roads, of course, especially low-lying areas, but we have lots of miles of dirt roads here in this county. 500
miles of dirt road, I think it is around here.
So got to keep them up also.
Their plans are great. I mean, other counties around us, we've heard other people mention how great our road department is at doing that, being so prepared and having things built up so that it doesn't wash out as bad as it could.
Okay. All right, Bob, questions, comments for our guest this morning, Donnie Ray, Sharon Corson from Wayne County EMA. Nothing at all, Bob? No curious questions, inquiries, or anything? We covered everything so well. Bob is fully, got all the information he needs. Yeah, fully satisfied.
He's prepared. Do you have your kit ready, Bob?
Not yet.
What?
No, I don't have my kit ready. Yeah.
You have to make
if it's about a month advance, so then I'll make my kit ready if I think that. All right.
Getting ready now.
And we look forward to having Donnie Ray back on next week to talk about the plan for Wayne County that he's going to present to the government officials next week. And then we'll have him on Thursday morning to have him on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show and tell us what he's going to talk about to them.
That's right.
All right. Did we miss anything, y'all?
I don't think so. All of this information should be on our Facebook page. So if anybody needs to catch this, we'll have lists of all of our emergency kits. We've had it on there before. We'll update it again today. We'll add all this stuff again so you can have it fresh on the top of the page and just go to the site and see what you need to do. We'll have the kit information listed. We'll put the storm names up. Some people like to know if their name is a storm or not this year. So I'm glad mine is not.
Bob, have you ever had any hurricanes named after Bob? Robert? You remember? Sharon, have you had any?
Not yet. I mean, Donnie says Shary is close enough to Sharon.
Close
so
enough.
He's, already said that one.
That's going to be a bad one, isn't there? How about Donnie? We've had any Donnie hurricanes in the past?
There was a Donald, right?
I remember Donald.
I don't know if we've had any Butches or we wouldn't make one Butch, but Charles is my legal name. Sure, they had sometime.
I think they have been a Charles. I think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, Gal, we appreciate you coming in.
Yes,
Donnie
Thank
Ray,
you for
Sharon
having
Corson
us.
from Wayne County EMA. Donnie, we look forward to having you back here on Thursday, and we do appreciate the updates that y'all give us when we do have bad weather coming through, whether it's a bad thunderstorm, tornado, hurricane, whatever the case may be. Thanks for the updates. We can pass those along to our listeners.
You are welcome.
All right.
Glad
Well, y'all
to do
have a
it.
good day.
Thank you.
Bob and I
Y'all
are going to
too.
wrap things up here, and y'all can just show yourself out.
All right. Thank you.
All right. 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, world famous Butch and Bob Show, here for this Thursday morning, the 2nd day of June. And so, Bob, the NBA Finals begin tonight, is that right?
Yep, game 1 tonight, ABC, 9 o'clock, Golden State, Boston. Should be a good series.
Yep, should be. Let's see how tired Boston is after having to go all those 7 games against Miami. And Golden State's been kind of rested up for a few days since they won early in their series. But everybody thinks it's going to be a great series. That it could go down to a minimum of 6, maybe 7. We'll see.
Most people think it's going to go 6 or 7 games. So this Golden State's offense against Boston's defense. So should be a good series. But I've had Golden State since day one. I'll take Golden State to win it.
Now, you like it because of Stephon.
I'm a big
Curry.
Steph Curry fan. Klay Thompson. Steve Kerr's a good coach. Draymond Green. So that's some young players as well. So I just like Steph Curry. I like the way he shoots the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Might be one of the best pure shooters ever in the NBA. I mean, he's just fun to watch.
It's interesting listening to the Dan Patrick Show, and with the finals here going with NBA. There's always that talk. Who are the top 10 players of all time? Who's the best player of all time? Probably the majority of it's Michael Jordan. You got some LeBron James in there and some other ones from the past. But who are the top 10 basketball players of all times? And always debate on that. Of course, you'll never know because most of them didn't play against each other.
Well, different eras, but Bill Russell's in the conversation.
Right.
Will Chamberlain, Jordan,
Kareem,
Magic.
Larry, yeah.
A lot of people think Kareem gets slighted a lot of times. He was a heck of a player. So
you got
it's a tough
Bill
list.
still. Yeah, he was a big old
tough.
powerful
Bill
player.
Russell.
Yeah,
a lot of great players. Hard to get a top 10. Some of these current players are up there too, like Kevin Durant, things like that. So.
Now, is the NHL playoffs are going on too right now, are they?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the 2 playoffs going, the NBA and then the hockey.
I just don't think the hockey's to the finals yet. I think they're still in the semi.
Yeah, I think they may still be in the semifinals or something like that. But all that's going on. Any other sporting events or things happening right now that you're keeping an eye on?
The girls softball event gets underway today. That's fun to watch. Those games will start today.
That's the National Girls Softball
College
playoffs. World
Series. There's 8 teams. Oklahoma's the number 1 team in the country. So Florida's the only SEC team in there, but it'll be interesting how that plays out. But that's always fun to watch. And tomorrow the baseball regionals get underway. And I say Georgia Tech, Georgia Southern all in the regional. Georgia Southern hosting the regional.
Georgia Southern's hosting. That's great.
Notre Dame's rolling into town, so that'll be a fun regional.
We'll also have some folks here from Wayne County that may go up there and watch some of that.
I'm sure they
we haven't had one around here.
Yeah, the Georgia Southern boosters. Somebody told me yesterday Sean O'Quinn's got tickets to the event. So.
Oh, does he? Good old Sean O'Quinn's got tickets to the...
That's what I was told just at Country Club.
All right. Sean's going to go there and watch some baseball in the World Series of college.
Yeah. And Georgia starts tomorrow at the North Carolina Regional. So,
do we know all the teams coming to Southern for the regionals? I know Notre Dame and Georgia Southern. I don't know who the rest of them are.
There's 4 teams there, but I can't.
Four teams are going to be there. Okay.
There's 4 teams in each regional.
Okay. Have you watched the game up there at Georgia Southern?
I have.
It's a nice facility.
It's apparently. Yeah, Clemens Field's a nice place. It's a nice ballpark.
Okay. Well, Bob, we're out of time. Anything else you just got to get off and say this morning? That's it. Time for Bob to go eat some breakfast. Have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup, brought to you by O'Quinn and Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.